everybody. Welcome to College COD and our final online broadcast. That's right. We've got 4 matches. All of them qualify a team to LAN, where eventually we will crown and give away a lot of money to our new CCL. Maybe new. I shouldn't say new CCL champion.
Sure.
Just, you know, our 2023 CCL champion. On my whole chip with me, I've got Austin Visions Neal. Brother, how you feeling today?
Feeling great, man. I mean, we got some qualification matches to land. Like, it doesn't get any more hype than this when you talk about, like, an online atmosphere, right? So, these matches are going to be absolutely insane today. I'm ready for it, dude. I hope you're ready for it, too. It's going to be a great day.
Oh, it's going to be an unbelievable day. Of course, the teams that made it through the playoff bracket and won their region are already qualified. That's 4 of our squads locked in, ready to go for LAN. However, we have 8 teams that still remain. They played through a pretty grueling just 3-squad group bracket, or round robin, I should say, not bracket, yesterday, and the matches were tremendously close across the board. Here is how the groups were put together and how they shook out. Farmingdale State tops Group A, but they played a really solid New Mexico State Aggie squad that looked really solid throughout and has really proved themselves as a major contender. Over in Group B, Mars Hill was short of qualifying out of their region, but had no problem handling Group B. Whereas in Group C, St. Edward's looking primed as they had a nice little tight situation versus SIUE Esports. And then St. Clair continues to look pretty solid with went to a map 5, but map 5 wasn't close. They took down CSUN in their last group match to come on top of their group. So the head-to-head that you see at the bottom of the screen there, Austin, that's our matchups for the day.
That's right. Our matchups coming on through, man. Going to be some great ones, but yeah, you can see it. Like you said, through the groups, man. A lot of these matches very close. St. Clair, able to pull that one out. Really looking strong in the S&D. I'm excited to see how Mars Hill Esports continues to maybe keep the train rolling into today. If they can keep up a lot of that kind of pressure we were seeing during the regular season, we'll have to see. But man, you said it. 4 matches, like every single team wants to get to LAN. Like that is why you join CCL, is to get to that LAN atmosphere. But you got to get through one more match to do it.
Absolutely the case. Again, those 4 teams that made it out of their region already are Northwood, University of North America, Oklahoma Christian, and Fisher College. The only team of those 4 to drop a map was Oklahoma Christian. It was a 3-1 win that they had over St. Edward's. Everyone else 3-0'd their region in that grand final. So who knows? Could have 4 potential favorites already. I mean, again, LAN is a very different battle, though. So who knows what happens, as this will actually also be one of our first times that we see our regions actually playing up against each other, staying outside of their own region. So there will be some considerations for that. But let's take a look at Farmingdale State to kind of get things going here. They were, I think, one of the bigger surprises so far throughout this season. They didn't quite make it into the grand finals. They did. They played Fisher College and lost in both the winners finals and grand finals. But for Spades, Pubstar, Carbonize, and Teza, looking good for one of the first major years for Farmingdale State.
Without a doubt, man. I mean, it's never easy to come into the CCL, especially as a new team, and try to find the wins, try to put on a performance like this. So I think it speaks volume based off what they've been able to do here so far. And we'll get to look at these individuals a lot more going forward. But at least on the other side here for what we have, Alan, a great matchup for what we come to expect with this roster. I feel like people are going to be very, very familiar, at least on the opposite end here for Davenport, with Exib, Anthrax, Gecko, and Sheldon. These 4 individually, I think, have also been very, very special. And these guys have been around the block, right? We talk about Anthrax being a challenger back in 2019. We've seen these guys for quite a long time now.
And they really, really started to show up in this postseason run. In their regional playoffs, they went through a gauntlet of a bracket, playing through the Illini from the University of Illinois. They also 3-0'd St. Clair before eventually getting beat by Northwood. The problem was when they dropped down to the lower bracket, St. Clair got revenge against this Davenport team, beating them 3-0. So you take a look to see how these 2 teams have kind of squared off throughout the regular season thus far. Farmingdale State holding an edge just due to the fact that in the Northeast region they have played everybody and they've usually beat them. Most success coming by way of their respawn, but a very formidable search and destroy team as well.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I mean, you take a look at those respawns though, like that's where you're going to have to probably get something going here. One of the hard points, you feel like on the other end, but 18-5, that's where they've been finding a lot of their success. But you mentioned the fact that it doesn't really feel like they have much of a weakness, right? When you have 18-5, 15-4, and then 13-5 in your game modes, they're a pretty difficult team to beat, without a doubt. But on the opposite end, at least you can look at maybe those controls and those S&Ds. That's been the stronger point here on the other side.
Well, let's take a look at this best of 5 to exactly see where these 2 teams will square up. We're going to start things off on the hard point of Fortress, followed by the El Estilo Search and Destroy and the Hotel Control. If we need it, Hydro Hardpoint Hotel Search will be waiting for us. I will say, kind of watching over the regional playoffs, this Davenport team on Fortress Hardpoint can fly. They were playing with some tempo when we were watching them play throughout their playoff run. But when we got to the group stage, a little bit of a different story overall, as they did play a tight game versus Mars Hill in their opener. But, you know, the thing is, you know, can they actually hang with this Armendale State team that also boasts a pretty significant record when it comes to not just their hardpoint, but also flying at teams when they're finding a way on Fortress Hardpoint? Most specifically, they had a 250 to 139 win versus James Madison yesterday.
Going to be a tough challenge in the respawns, Alan, but anything can happen, especially on days like this when it's all on the line. Sometimes they crumble, sometimes they rise to the top. It's time to find out who's going to do which here in this first matchup as we kick it off on Fortress HP.
Opening nade does land for Spades. Tez follows, so Farmingdale State will get into the hard point immediately, but only for a small time. Kills also coming their way, spawning from the unfavored side. And actually, this has been a really solid opening for FSC. Now sitting in a position to kind of contest any challengers, and maybe with the great kills, also move through the map. Decent trade for Exip. That will allow Davenport to keep spawning on the favored side, but Farmingdale is getting a lot of time here early.
Yeah, they're getting a lot of time, and you can see it. Everyone here from Davenport just wants to make sure they control the spawns, so they're playing very patient, trying to take their time, and they will be able to work through for some gunfights. Only one player able to slip through. That will be Tez. Wants to flip out the spawns in the back, but will they be able to get note of it? That's the big question as the push comes to the front, and so far, kills are coming in.
Yeah, decent start for the Rams, but Davenport holding on to the backside pretty much the entire time, save the fact that Tez kind of spawns behind the play, and, well, no one expected that. Goodness. P2 will open up. Kills go the way of the green and white of the Rams. Exip, big key elimination, allows Davenport to still spawn in the back. They need kills to get onto the hard point, and there it is. Sheldon finally able to kind of get something going here for the Panthers.
See if they can try to break in with the kills, though. The entries haven't really been there, and Sheldon able to hold on again. Thrax even pinches up the map a little bit and puts some pressure right through mid. Able to keep his life for a second longer and gets a read on where the next push is coming from. Davenport Panthers doing everything they need to. Still a big 30 seconds to try to collect tier 2 on P2.
23 seconds to play. Gecko looking to start to make a transition over towards New. Armendale State still holding the line of scrimmage in the middle of the map, and ooh, Spades will actually spawn behind here. So, ooh, big kill. Sheldon actually takes him down. So that's going to lead to an opportunity now for Davenport to start to focus on this rotation in towards New. Only 2 Rams in the way. Thrax denied. Oh, and then the back door also shut down by Tez. Beautiful hold for FSC. Save the fact that, of course, Davenport did a really nice job there on Gallows.
Yeah, have a good P2, but it's critical that you make sure they do not find a rotation win into the back of P3 or this game gets out of hand early. Now Tez even has a forward position downstairs in maps, wants to try to come behind the play, and he'll be able to do exactly that, no problem. Easy double up, looking for kill number 6, and Tez with the snapper grabs the triple and earns the streak.
Oh my, he's not done, Austin. He's on 8 all of a sudden. 11-4, the start for the side of Tez and the Rams. Retaking their lead, and those kills were massive because at no point was FSC really feeling a threat towards a break. They're actually now fighting for mid-map, and if they continue to find kills like this, they could rotate very quickly into munitions. So a lot of pressure established early on towards the Panthers. They're handling it okay, but ultimately it's a 60 on P2, responded with a full 60 for FSC on the third.
And now they're starting to move with a little bit of momentum into the back here. Have to try to shut it down if you're Davenport. Do not allow an early break, and they don't really have a full setup. You can see it, a bit of a split here. 2 and 2 from either members, just trying to get some kind of a setup in and around the point, but FSC move right through. Kills are coming on in, and now they might be able to break this one open and grab control time, but what a huge double that is. Exib able to hold on and keep his team in it.
That also secures a full team wipe, so a little bit of space gained now for the Panthers. Not just on the hard point, but an opportunity to kind of zone in front of it. Lots of damage from Gecko, and finally secures the kill. Backs off, gets the reload, has a player chasing, but Tez has kind of held his ground for a moment. Instead, focuses on the interior, and that's well formed. Nice little double hit comes out. The Rams secured just a little bit of a contest. 20 seconds of the fight for Gecko up top, denied, as there's just too many members nearby. So with that, the break comes through for Scrap, and FSC will continue to kind of build on this small lead for the moment.
This is going to get a little bit scarier if Tez can keep this up at the moment, man. 16-7, the man is flying. He's been the playmaker without a doubt here so far for the Rams. You're going to have to find a way to really shut this man down if you're going to have a chance at grabbing control of the game. Xib's got to cross right through mid. His teammates are starting to get set up. Time will go neutral, and the streak will be invested. Ted's going to break it open and allow them to flood through mid.
I mean, I like the call with how Tez has played so far. A number of his teammates have also gotten to 3+ kills. Why not throw out the streak early, see if you can earn yourself another one, especially considering the fact that Tez is already on a killing spree. Going to have to do a little bit more, though, to get to that next cruise, and well, on 1 HP, he's going to have a chance to fight for it. 124 to 83. Tez off the regen. Help nearby. And while he's actually not going to get contested by Xib, who must have been hindered by that last gunfight he was a part of, and that's going to lead to more time for the Rams. Goodness, Davenport is giving up a whale of amount of time here. Tez now off the dead. Silence gets turned around by Thrax, and finally there will be a chance to break in for Scrap, but it's only a small amount of time that's been earned, and FSC largely still feeling comfortable in the lead.
Oh, certainly are. I mean, you can really see them find their flow now as they're starting to just get themselves into good positions. Spades maybe hasn't had the best game so far, but has a chance to influence the spawns and maybe push all the way through. This is where we did see Davenport actually have a good, good amount, 30 points or so, transition into P2, start to build up a bit of a lead, a chance to do it here again, but the flank is already in and the spawns are going to flip out. FSC, they're already back in the time.
Yeah, I mean, Davenport's hanging on, but boy, the trends are favoring the slaying potential that we're seeing out of FSC at the moment. And the convincing kill feeds, the timing that it comes by usually results in 30+ seconds on the hard point, including this moment right here. And to be fair, the Rams are just keeping Davenport in complete disarray. So many moments where it's just like, oh, we think we know where they are based on the kills that happened, but they're so quick to reposition, change the angle, and the Panthers a bit lost here throughout the first rotation and again here on P1 for the second time. Nice moment, though, starting to build up. Tez by himself. Gets one, gets away, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. Just bounces out and says, come find me.
Yeah, that's best case scenario here. It's only one player in the back. Tez going to have to do it again. Paul Ask and Sheldon will shut him down. This is where Sheldon got a huge amount of his kills the last P2, and they are in here first. They don't have complete control of the back here, and Gecko's going to try to pick it up. Good first kill for him.
Needs to get more than that, though, and wow, help comes also from the front. Spawn still in for Farmingdale, but Gecko holds his life. Reinforcements inside Gallows now, and the threat has been established. Nice long-range shots from Xib, and how about this for the Panthers starting to chew their way back into the game? Yeah, pending, of course, they can get rid of Tez, which finally they do. 30 seconds to fight for it. Davenport actually do spawn out, so kind of fighting the war on two fronts here are the Panthers.
Here we go, big kill. Gecko trying to get a read on where the rest of the members are coming from here for FSC. Dropping down from above. Gecko looking for kill number 5. Switches to the Vazef, and he'll find it. Gecko doing a good job of slowing up the reinforcements. They're going to give up that scrap time, but they are here first, and this is their chance to try to lock in full 60s.
Yeah, and if they can find a way to do that, we've got ourselves a game. FSC setting up for a break. Spades kind of just gives away his life right there, maybe just peeking a little bit too early through the main doors. And this has not been a good moment here so far for the Rams. A couple of individual kills come out. Tez secures topside maps. And that's actually going to allow a chance for Farmingdale to start to flood from the front. Davenport does not fully spawn in, so lots of pressure towards Sheldon. Does well to get some help, and how about the late Semtex? Drax clears off the point, and all of a sudden Davenport are in the map.
Oh, that is a huge moment right there for Davenport. They have a chance to grab control of the game. It's him! Oh, he lines them up! Challenges out in a 1 versus 3. That is a hell of a way to create some space here for the Panthers. Give them that momentum we were talking about. Allow them to build off of it. They have taken the lead.
Oh my goodness. Plus the potential of a streak to be earned. Gecko trying to threaten through Gallows. Gets a nice read onto Tez. Could not put up a fight. Xib, hoping for kill number 7 in a row, but he is denied. 187, 179. Munitions will open up in favor of Farmingdale for now, but all 4 Panthers members are stacked. Carbonized. Nice little heady from inside the hard point. Does well to take down the first, transmit the information on the second, and now numbers persist for the Rams on the hill.
Last time, Davenport had a really difficult time dealing with the ARs in and around the point. We'll see if they can try to change it up this time. They're the ones trying to break in, and so far it has not been successful. Just about every single member going to go down, and they're starting to be a little bit stagnant here. Coming up one by one, have to take their time, need to set up a team push. So far, 30 seconds locked in here for FSC.
Davenport, a couple of the big kills, looking for the break. Just had to get through Carbonize, who was just completely overwhelmed. No chance to fight off the second player. So the break is in. 214, 194. Exib, nicely done off the reload. No, Spades confirms the trade. Gecko on the hunt up top, trying to give a little bit of vacancy towards this second floor, and he does well to get that elimination. Only 3 seconds of hardpoint time, and the Rams may have overcommitted here just a touch. A little bit outside of the middle of the map. Tez will try to jump on in. He's going to be tested, though. There are members very rapidly on the way in, but bouncing, holding down the trigger. Tez gets the first kill. Semtexas is back and almost gets the snap onto Thrax. Trades back and forth, but ultimately the Rams with numbers have a chance to hopefully get in and start earning some of this time that they've worked so hard for here early.
Yeah, Xib's position so important. Again, he's able to at least grab one, trying to stay alive behind enemy lines. It won't happen, and now gonna have to just flood through, brute force through the front. And while the setup is looking a little bit too good right now for the Rams, they have all the power positions they would ever want. You are pinned in the back of P3, and you're gonna have to find a way to contest some of this time.
Big pick though. Pupstar dropping from topside maps. Means that Spades is fighting for his life inside the hard point. Help is on the way. Davenport will secure the break. 2:33. 10 seconds to play to Davenport on 2:04. Thrax knows they need this time. Gets the first kill, no worries, but completely crossed up. Players from behind, players from in front. And Farmingdale go back to the first hard point where they have been magnificent. Have to have a hold here if you're Davenport.
Oh, need to try to get something going. Favorite side of the map. You could keep them pinned. You could very much do this, but it's only 12 seconds. That's all they need here on the other side. Spades great on the opener. Thrax needs to pick something up, and his teammates above him will be able to help out. One player from behind. Good read from Thrax. Slowly but surely, they're starting to do it. Still a lot of time left on P1.
And Exhibit is watching this cross with the double doors. This has been magnificently put together for Davenport. 2:30, 2:38. FSC need to get some contest or neutralization, and a team name makes this even more hard pressed. The hit from the front is all that remains here for Farmingdale State, and they're not finding the kills. Pupstar's able to get one, but you've got to get Thrax off the hard point. Nobody's here. The spawns are out. All of a sudden, it's just down to who can contest longer. Kill comes out. Davenport can still win here. They need to get the kill from inside the hard point, and they do. And with that, the kills are good. It stops at 2:48, and the Rams are going to get the opening time on 2.
They have a chance to get here, though. Look at the flank from behind. Xib is there. He finds the first one. Can he put together a second? Yes, he will. Can he go for 3? His teammates are in. The trades are there, and the Panthers bring it all the way back in Fortress Hardpoint.
Oh, man. Welcome to LAN qualifiers. Are you kidding? What a start it was for the Rams. I mean, this was near masterclass, but Exib and the rest of the squad through that third hard point at Fountain, find the transition. Right there, you saw the kind of highlighted play from Exib. Didn't quite get the streak, but it didn't matter. They get the transition they needed. That helped secure the lead and have a chance to continue to go at least, tit for tat, so to speak. Back and forth, little game of tug of war until right at the end. Oh, the save on the first hard point gets Davenport in a position to win, and the pressure just becomes too much for the Rams with Exib's flank at the end. Beautiful stuff from Davenport, staying in the game even when it looked dire.
I mean, it did look dire, right? I mean, specifically when Tez was, I think, on like 30 kills heading into like that last hill on the second rotation. It felt like he was just in takeover mode. And I mean, that was the big reason we saw the lead, right? A lot of his plays that he was making, but on a map like Fortress, it takes, just a couple of good hills that you can chain together in a row, win a tough rotation, and bring it right back. And that's exactly what they did from that P2 to P3. And to be fair, the Panthers were really good on that P2 hill, and that's what kind of kept them in this game.
Agreed, absolutely. And I think the thing about it was, at a certain moment in time, you look towards the control they also held towards topside maps, and how often that led to some good mid-map control in these kind of 4th to 5th hardpoint rotations that we often saw. And I'd say more often than not, even though the Rams have come out kind of maybe a little bit more successful throughout Blacksmith towards P1, the thing about it was Davenport, I think they got a read on what exactly Farmingdale wanted to do, and that little wrap that they were able to put together there right at the end to get over towards the first hard point and then hold that space, force the Rams to spawn all the way up towards the top side of the map. That was also, I think, a key difference maker, kind of manipulating spawns by the end of the map.
Oh, then you just get down to the wire, and this just gets so scrappy. You think it's going to end right here on P1. Thrax has kept his life for as long as possible, dodging nades, dodging stuns, and then that team nade to find
a couple of them.
The kill. That one was big enough to at least extend it, but look at this flank in the back. It's a spawn, actually.
Have to block that.
For Exib.
Yeah, you've got to block that. I mean, literally all 4 members are screaming, get on the hard point, and I mean, you could see it. Like, if you were taking just a screenshot of it, I don't know if there was anybody, even on the low ground, through where the final hard point or the munitions hard point is. Definitely nobody in the back. So I get it. I know there's a lot of people out there saying spawn blessed, but at the same rate, if you're Farmingdale, like, this game is not new. You should have to know that as you rotate from 1 to 2 like that, if you spawn up at the top side of the map, you need to send somebody back towards that pallet truck just to block that spawn out and make sure that you have it, because that is common knowledge at the highest level right now, that if you don't block that bottom side of the left side of the map, someone might spawn there. Very regularly, somebody will spawn there. So Exhib gets a little bit blessed, sure, if you want to call it that. But ultimately, you can't deny the comeback effort from Davenport, especially in that last rotation.
Oh, yeah, that was incredible, man. Just to flip out the spawns the way that they did, keep them pinned to the back of P3 for a good amount of time. Not easy to do, but they get it done. And I said someone needed to step up, and that's the slaying of Tez, right? Because this guy was just putting up numbers that entire game. And everybody, you know, has a good amount of moments there, especially near the end. But Exhib, the amount of, 2 and 3 pieces that he was coming up with just about halfway through that game started to be the difference maker there. Huge amount of kills, 24 of them non-traded, putting up some big damage as well. So good to see from the subs. They're getting fired up early, which is what we like to see.
And now we've got Search and Destroy on El Asilo coming up next. And boy, I'll tell you, if there was ever a Search and Destroy where subs can be a difference maker, why not here? Why not now? Definitely a chance to obviously utilize some aggressive play styles we often see at the top of the challengers and even the CDL level. Sometimes you just pull 3 subs, just try to take away the front side of the map in that bottom billiards area as fast as humanly possible, especially from the defensive side. The ability to kind of work off of flanks defensively also very, very prime towards, X factors when it comes to round-to-round action. So for Davenport, this has been statistically their best mode. You expect to see some variety out of them, I think, first and foremost. Otherwise, for Farmingdale State, I think the biggest thing about it is, hey, like, these guys are just as good on search as they are on respawn. Just comes down to, can they actually secure an El Asilo, which they did not play at all yesterday.
Yeah, that's the big question here. What are their strats going to look like? What's kind of their game plan? I'm sure they're also, taken back a little bit after that map number 1, right?
Sure.
You're thinking that that's probably our map to win. So, now kind of put yourself in a little bit more of a position where you kind of need to, and you need to capitalize here in this search and destroy. And, as you mentioned, the subs being just a factor as much as they were in that map number 1, going to be just as much so here in the map number 2. A lot of this map is determined on that sub duo, man. Whatever happens down low in those early kind of fights can really dictate the pacing of this map. And you can really snowball rounds if you start to put together some fast ones too, right? So there's a lot of variables that come into an LOC though, and you have to be very prepared. Have to be willing to change up your strategy. You can't just fall into the same default setup on this map.
Yeah, LCL, I think, is one of those that's like the chess game can get out of hand, and there are a lot of things that you have to, like, if you're going to respond to something like 3 subs in your face or AR control on the bottom side of the A part of the map, you have to put a knee-jerk reaction together, almost saying, okay, if they're going to throw all these nades and throw these 3 subs at us, we have to do the same thing. So it almost comes to this cause and effect nature where you hold the edge and kind of controlling that mental chess game. You can, like you mentioned, just kind of keep your opponent really guessing throughout the entirety of the search and destroy. So I like that comm out of you. Not that I never like your comms, because your comms are always great.
Thanks, Alan.
You're
such
welcome,
a great guy. Yeah, man, this would be a big one. I think they need a second to resell a little bit too, just before they jump right back in. Just take a quick little breather before you jump into a search and destroy like this. I mean, you just talk about these matches too, and what it just like the intensity of the matches that these guys are playing, and knowing what's on the line. You could play terrific the entire year long, but when it comes down to that single match in the back of your mind, what's on the line. It changes your play style sometimes, right? Some players step up. Sometimes, they feel the pressure. They don't want to make the play. They don't want to risk it all. So search and destroy can very much change in that aspect too, with risk taking. And there can be a lot of risk taking, or there can just be a lot of passive play. No one moves for 40 seconds. Then stuns and nades come out. So never know what LSC you're going to get, but it looks like we're loaded into it. It's time to find out. Davenport Panthers go 2-0 up over the Rams. Or will FFC Esports bounce back, tie this one up before going into the control?
What a story it'd be for Davenport in the midst of what was a very disappointing regular season to find a way to re-qualify for LAN, to get back for a second straight year. I mean, I don't think we've said it enough how much of a feat that would be for a collegiate program that did not have the same kind of recruiting and scholarship process as like a Northwood or a Fisher. That would be really impressive. But we'll see how things go. It will be Davenport on the offense to start. Pubstar, wow, over the top. Goodness. Tough gunfight with Sheldon comes away the victor, and we go to a very early 4v3. Thrax is trying to lock down a trade. Pubstar is pretty aware that someone could be outside, and now he's got the intel. Shots are clean. Gecko up top, not quite able to secure the trade, but Pubstar will, yes, well, maybe, just get out with his life. Thrax is still watching for this kill, and, well, this has been the longest 1v1 in the history of LCL Search and Destroy between these two.
Oh, you'll finally get it. Yeah, he's pinned in the corner, tries to ask for assistance up top, but doesn't get there in time. Carbonite still able to get one back, so numbers in favor of FSC. Have to try to make a plant happen now. Exib going to be the playmaker. Bomb in hand, has to get through Spades.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is they don't really have any information here on the A set really whatsoever. You definitely don't have time to clear everything on the backside of B, you'd think. Not with 18 seconds.
You got to fly.
I mean, that's the only option. And Carbonize is watching this. Thrax, oh, good shots. Couldn't quite get the kill, though. Enough time for the plant, but of course the alarm bells have rang. Tez should get a free one here into Exhibit. The bomb does get planted, so Thrax, this will be a 1v2. Spades is immediately going to hop. Thrax trying to get here. Gets one. Tags are in. Hold on a second. Down to 31 HP. Thrax is going to go quickly for the 1v1. Spades changes the angle and just narrowly catches Thrax before he can use the bomb as a heady. And Farmingdale will reap the reward of their first blood and take the opener.
Oh, I gotta think if he has it fast enough in his back pocket there, something interesting maybe happens. But Thrax gives it a really good chance, man. I mean, he puts up, felt like about 500 or 600 damage in that round alone with the amount of 1v1s he was getting into over there in the sidelines by the Red Tower. But an almost 1v3 comes on through. Spades just barely gets there, hops off the bomb. But you can see the panic. It was setting in.
Oh, yeah.
They do at least get there.
Panic on my side, I think, too, just for what it's worth.
Yeah, fair.
Goodness. So Thrax just barely not quite able to lock in the ace and save the round for Davenport, but defensively speaking, there was a lot of pressure established over towards A. Lots of control demanded by Davenport early, so we'll keep an eye on that as Farmingdale take their first offense. Three-man stack on the inside. Gecko kind of watching from the outside of A, and Exhib with dead silence is already trying to flip the map. Oh, goodness, this is a route and a half, and he sees the door open. He knows someone's home, and how about the first blood on the Carbonize?
Yeah, very nice. Maybe got a sound cue. Just immediately ran here, or obviously knew someone was probably poking around, and that's going to really eliminate a lot of your control that you're going to have through this right lane. You can see Pubstar trying to pick it up. Needs to get a read on if someone is actually continuing on through on the flank, but starting to get a little bit low on time. Halfway through round number 2. Bomb is still in a position to make its way over to A, and there's no one inside the site, but there are players lingering down low.
It's just so tough losing that player on the outside. You just have no idea what's behind you. And it's been, honestly, good patience here from Exhib. He's just making sure nobody tries to rotate over towards B. Or he says, you have to take the time to come hunt me out. Thrax pushes in, takes away checkers. And Thrax, well, he's going to also to confirm information on the Pubstar. Nearly gets the kill. Down to a single bullet. That will be tallied, no worries. The Panthers, with the little route hit by Exhib, will respond with a nice, clean defense of their own.
Yeah, I love that. And like you said, as soon as you lose that player through the outskirts, it does become very difficult. You don't really have a way to kind of, exit out if your game plan isn't working to A, right? You can push through this right lane. You can try to make a flank play happen. You can wrap around with dead silence. Those are basically all nullified once you lose a player like that who's watching over the site. You don't know if another flank's coming through from Exhib. It's just constant pressure and his force, and Thrax has been picking them apart so far, 5-2.
All right. Once more, Pubstar going to try to play towards the outside of the map. Sheldon thought about it, maybe threw a nade or two, but ultimately gives up the angle. Couple of tags, couple of taps. Spades, I don't believe, has been tagged by any of this yet, though. He's still pretty comfortable behind the wall. Door opens. And no thank you, he says. We're not open. Try again another time. Come back during regular business hours, of which Davenport very well may. Hit coming over towards Kegs. And Sheldon's all the way through on the top side. Oh, my goodness. I mean, he has taken away so much space, and that's easy for Thrax to challenge. Beautifully done by Davenport in the opener.
Absolutely. I mean, they just take away the support. It's like, you want to sit inside the site, sit inside the site. We're just not going to deal with you until we have to. Find all the kills up top and just force the plays to come. And, well, Tez, he was looking pretty solid in the map number 1 here, but 1v4, 30 seconds, trophy player, not going to happen, I don't think, Alan.
No, I think that's a pretty fair wager.
Guess. Yeah, just a fair guess.
Not good odds on that wager, but still a good wager. I like that idea, though, from Davenport. Just give away.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to know for a fact, or at least you have some sort of an idea that Pubstar is going to continue to play from the outside patio behind A, just don't even open the doors. Don't even give him a chance. Throw a nade, keep him interested, and then focus on trying to play through the middle of the map, especially if Farmingdale continues to want to play at least one member inside the site. It gives you a essentially 4v2 on somewhere else in the map. So I like the idea, and Thrax is having his way through 3 rounds so far. 7-2 start for the young man.
Yeah, he's not missing right now. He's just picking up so many 1v1 kills. I mean, he's also just always in a really good position to find those kills, and then he's winning them. So makes it very easy to play the game like that if he can continue to do this. But Tez going to try to shake it up a little bit. They're trying to move through left. Tez might have an angle at 1, maybe even 2. But Thrax not going to immediately challenge. He's going to be able to escape. He wants to try to hunt him down. He'll break open the door, and there it is.
Yeah.
Kill number 8 secured.
I love it, dude. It's just measured aggression coming out of Davenport at the moment. Although that said, Exib does get caught by the forward position from Carbonize, and in the same breath, the bomb also planted. Nice shots from Thrax. He wants it. Oh,
Ooh.
big bounce back from Spades behind the bar. Now it's just Gecko for the 1v2. Dead silence at the ready. No nades to play with. Of course, he understands the threat that Carbonize is up top, especially now. And even more so, he should have an idea that Spades is playing on the lower ground. Has to deny Carbonize first and foremost, though, and this is just taking too long. Yep. Not much you can do with that.
No. No, unless you're like in a position to actually get eyes on that clutch spot and come around the back, it's pretty difficult. You're almost just kind of hoping to get lucky, and then the sound cues come through. Gecko tries to make the play, but no challenges come his way. And finally, you know, a much cleaner route here for FSC. They do a good job of shutting down Thrax, making sure that he's not finding more than one. That trade from Spades was pretty much everything. If Thrax finds another and then keeps his life, I mean, that's another round on the board for the Panthers.
Yep. I agree. But Farmingdale throwing out something that Davenport will have to think about going into their next defense. Here for the offensive attempt. Once more, Pubstar outside. Davenport not interested. Gecko's going to watch to make sure there's no opening flank from that same angle of the map. And there very well may be, because you've got Pubstar way up top at tower, which Gecko is watching and finds the kill. Very well done by Davenport. But meanwhile, Tez has already gotten through. Dead silence in the play. He's looking for his second and will find an exit to safety. 3v2, Rams in the ascendancy.
That's a great moment. Going to completely reposition. Spades even going to start to do a little searching through the back here. Probably going to run into Gecko, and it will be a freebie. Tez over the top, though, alongside Carbonize. Will find the trade. Now it's all down to 1. Zib would have to pull off a 1v2. Has the dead silence.
It's the first one for free. Question mark on where the second one is. Oh, he's down low. Carbonize. Well, I think he actually wanted to play for the trade, too, for a moment there. With 30 seconds, Exib does not make the aggressive call. He doesn't see him laying prone. Oh, that's so tragic. I mean, I'm telling you, we're watching him in the bright green outline, but Carbonize may have been a little bit more disguised by the ground he was laying on. Tags are in. Exib takes the gunfight, but the push through the doorway, too hard to track, and with that, Farmingdale will go up 3-2.
Oh, man, I feel like his teammates were like, he's laying down, he's laying down. You can see Exib, like, you know, looking afterwards, trying to drop down, look for him, but by that point in time, his dead silence already ran out, and Carbonize knew exactly where he was coming from. Just such an unfortunate moment. A real good look at another 1 versus 2, just unable to see him. And I mean, who really expects someone just to be laying down in the middle of the hallway like that, right? So can't blame him, but definitely tough scenes.
Hey, there's something to be said about hiding in plain sight.
It's
Especially in this game, dude, where everyone hides in corners. Especially in this game.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah, I know. You set me up for that one. Stun up. Thrax not affected by this. Hold on a second. Thrax may blow this play wide open, even though Pubstar did get first blood over to the top side at Sheldon. But yeah, Thrax's kill turns into a 3v3, and Pubstar with the sniper rifle, he may have to actually go inside just to pick up a rifle here just to play with, because he's not going to get a chance at anything more, you'd think.
And we'll see what they decide to do. A lot of ARs seem to be in the hands right now. Old Thrax, a little aggressive, but it doesn't matter. Just let the man do whatever he wants. Oh, sniper in hand. Can Pubstar put together a second? He's going to have to get through Thrax, and Thrax just runs at him, man.
Brother.
11-4. He is taking over the map. Doesn't finish off the last, but the trade is good.
Somebody trade this guy. What the? And here's the thing is, I love that from Davenport. First time we've seen them get aggressive on the bottom side of the map. Everything else has been around the outside, long flank through the back buildings. But this time it's just a simple stun forward. Thrax pushes in. He doesn't get hit or affected by any counter nades from the offense and absolutely blows up the round. I love that from Davenport. The question is, with Pubstar now kind of opening up the threat of a possible sniper rifle, does that kind of turn the trends a little bit here to maybe think Davenport may do the same, or will Pubstar possibly consider using the sniper rifle on the defensive side? Hard to say off now, but for the first time again, Davenport continue to throw a little bit of a curveball here. Going to try to play from the outside of the map. Thrax good for his 12th kill, but it is traded safely by Carbonize.
It's good information, though. Pubstar does have that scope out. Should be able to find a kill on Sheldon. He does. Nice little freebie. Runs right into him. And now Gecko. Exib have to try to pull off a 2 versus 3. Dead Sound's going to be popped here for Gecko. Starts to clear at the top of the balcony. But will they be able to spot out Carbonize down low?
Yeah, it's going to be so tough to flush him out. Tez is also joining him on the flank. Yeah, free kill for Carbonize. This should be a Farmingdale round. Gecko is just... he tried to make a play. I get it. You have to do something in the face of a sniper rifle. Try to get up towards their top balcony. Isolate, get a free kill. You don't just want to have to play the avoid game with limited numbers. So Gecko will eventually get what he came for. Hold on a second. He may have a chance at 2. Pubstar goes prone. Just tries to keep his life, use the clock, and in that effort, he will be successful in making things difficult. Oh, what? That looked center mass. Has to run for the kill. Tez not quite able to run away, but holds the angle correctly, securing the kill, and Farmingdale State will hold on to the round.
Tez is a bold man. I would have been, like, gone. I would have been all the way, like, in a soccer field. You know what I mean? Counting the, I don't even know, like, I would have been doing something crazy. I would not have been here ready to challenge the gunfight with 5 seconds on the clock. But I guess if you're Tez and you were doing the things that you were doing in the map number 1, who am I to question you? He finds the kill. He guarantees the round. It was a great chance, though, from the Panthers. Gecko almost puts together a 1v3, and there's been so many of those here so far for the Panthers. I mean, this could be very much like a 5-2 round count here for us if they've been able to clutch up some of those 1v1s.
Pubstar back with a sniper rifle for the second straight offense. Just trying to find something over the top of B. Exib is not going to entertain the idea of it, but meanwhile, well, Tez's first blood will force the defense to move off the B site, and in that, Pubstar does get a chance to connect, and he makes good on it. So an early 4v2, and Davenport is in trouble. Yeah.
Not a good position. Gecko feels it too. He realizes he needs to try to get something going. Maybe stop this bomb plant. He'll take shots. He's good for the first one here. Gets a read on Tez, but won't finish it off. Sheldon will have to do so. Another 1v3 now required. Make it a 1v2. Has to try to find as many 2 players, and he gets a read, but won't find the shots. Another round comes on through.
Yeah, I'm loving it from Farmingdale. I think Davenport is doing the correct things to kind of keep the trends moving and trying to change the tidings of how these rounds have gone, especially in the face of Pubstar's sniper rifle. But the thing about it is, you know, what kind of happens in that last round, Exib, who's the sole defender at B, if you're going to be gate-kept by a sniper rifle, you have to essentially make a rotation happen out of thin air if you're going to lose a teammate on the other side of the map. You just can't be stuck on B.
Right.
That's kind of the power of the scope overall, is that you can watch that freely, especially if your teammates and the subs are doing as well as they are at the moment. With Davenport, this time, say, all right, Pubstar, we recognize the scope. We'll let you have it. Early aggression, though, from Farmingdale on the B side of the map. It's Carbonize who gets first blood and just says, that's good. I'll back away. Let's take our 4v3 and try to win the map right here.
Thrax, he's been that guy so far every single time, and he's that guy again. Good for 2. Gets shots on the 3rd. Tez now stuck inside the site. Have to imagine this should be a kill. But he's able to finesse. The nade's not going to tag, but he does get stunned up. Sheldon good for another, and now all up to Pubstar for a 1v2.
Just the sniper rifle as well. As... okay.
Here we go.
I thought, dude, I've had so many internet issues lately. I thought it was me. I was like, oh, God, this is happening again. Scope back at hand, though. Both players holding inside the site. Gecko over the top will secure the kill. Little 3v4 bounce back. Davenport take us back to within 1, but they still need 2 rounds in a row.
Still need 2 rounds, and I mean, that was a round that they also lost the first blood in. It was just a couple of nice plays. Thrax again, that guy, right? Like, it almost feels like every single life he's been able to deliver 2 for us at least. And I mean, that just plays such an important factor. You don't want to constantly rely on the man because he's already dropping 14 kills, but might need more in order to get it over the finish line here, or at least that round 11. But a huge defensive round. Need to find a way to play their lives and make sure that they're not getting picked apart. That's been the difference maker so far in these last 3 to 4 rounds here for the Rams.
Oh, big nade pushes Carbonize off the angle. Doesn't quite take the kill, though. Spades recognizing a threat nearby. Oh, and Exib just gets baited into it. Come into my web, says Farmingdale. Well baited. Drax also stunned. Doesn't matter. Gets the kill. Shakes off the stun just before the Semtex may have confirmed a trade. And once more, Thrax finds himself in familiar territory deep in enemy lines.
Whole map is covered. Both lanes should honestly result in a kill, you feel like, here, but not going to be a kill for Gecko. He's going to be pushed back, and now he's feeling a bit of the pressure. He doesn't get a read on Carbonize and should be taken out, but we'll get some shots back. Kill is good. 40 seconds on the clock, and now you have options here if you're in the back.
Yeah. Thrax dead silence. Problem about this is Farmingdale is just not in a position to fall victim to this play behind the enemy lines. And Thrax has been read. Oh, he is in trouble. Has to wait for the regen. He cannot go anywhere. But look at Sheldon. He's read this nicely. He's over in a position to try to stop this plant over towards B. Spades has to commit to the plant. Sheldon trying to watch for the exit. Nade goes out. Stun tags. Sheldon with dead silence starts to move. Catches the player up top. Shots are decent. Oh boy, from a 2v3. It's just down to Spades in the corner. Oh, and Thrax will shut him down. Oh my goodness. 16-8 from Thrax. Give him the defuse and send us to round 11.
I mean, give him everything at this point in time. This guy is doing it all. Impossible situations after impossible situations alongside Sheldon. They make it happen. Round 11 now is here, but my goodness, that stun check was everything. They know he's inside the site. They play for Pubstar at the top of Pride Rock. As soon as they find that kill, they know they just need to collapse and use numbers. Beautifully done.
Wow. I mean, if there was ever a guy to make this 3 rounds happen in a row, you look to Thrax. What does Davenport call here defensively? 2-2 split. Oh, they're going to play a flank. They're absolutely going to play a flank for Thrax. If they can find any contact. Carbonize is watching it, though, and now we have to reset.
Nade's coming out over the top. Not going to finish anyone off. Gecko, again, going to be responsible for just simply watching this right side. Make sure no one's able to flank through, and no one's moved here for FSC. They stopped that flank from coming on in, but they're still down low, and now they've just lost one. Carbonize out of the equation here for the final round in map number 2. Stuns and nades still available, but you can feel the pressure. Gonna have to make a move, and A feels like the only option.
And the thing about it, too, with Carbonize dropping, that was the player watching the flank. You would have to think, as soon as Davenport gets a read of this hit's coming on the inside, Gecko's gonna make a play around the back. He's got so much freedom to eventually make that play. He just cannot be the first one to go. 30 seconds on the clock. Onus on to Farmingdale to make a play, and Thrax will shut it down before it can get off the ground. Dead silence resets. Bomb carrier down the stairs. Read by Thrax. 18-8. Kill 19's around the corner. Hez will confirm the trade, but down to the final 15 seconds, he will be read by Sheldon, and Davenport will string together 3 straight rounds, take the round 11, and go 2-0 up in the series.
They can't keep getting away with it, Alan. Every single time you feel like the Rams, they have the map. It's just about locked up. Just need, 10 more points, 1 more round. It's just the comeback story over and over here for the Panthers, man. And, I mean, it's not a comeback story without Thrax dropping 18 kills, but my goodness, dude, this guy is refusing to lose on the day right now. It's insane.
I love it, man. Big playmakers have to make big plays. That's really what it comes down to. We saw that all throughout last year. We've seen it up until this point through the LCQ, the group stage, the playoffs. Sure. Big players got to step up, make big plays, and so far Thrax is doing just that. He saved the hard point. He essentially saves the search and destroy. I mean, there's no stopping this guy at the moment. Not to, take away from the rest of his teammates, because goodness, there was a lot of great help and a lot of great team play coming through for Davenport in those last 3 rounds, but it helps when Thrax is you know, taking control of tiles, getting into bottom bar, and destroying FSC from behind almost every round.
Yeah, I mean, he's literally just a walking two-piece, just about every single life. I mean, he was finding 2 kills at least, so if not more. It's just insane. Absolutely absurd from him. Big plays after big plays, and listen, FSC now, like, you really gotta ask, you know, where their mental's at, because those are 2 games that arguably should have been in their favor, and now they are down 0-2 on the final day. This is just not a position I feel like you ever would expect this team to be in, and now have to work themselves out of it. Panthers are just clutching up right now, Alan.
Oh yeah, big time. And I think the thing about it too is, you know, we talked about their search and destroy was the most successful part of their record throughout the regular season, and even in moments, you know, again, that regional playoff run, they didn't drop a single map until they eventually met up, you know, in the late stages with teams like Northwood and of course St. Clair. But I'll tell you, man, if these guys could continue to play like this and shoot like this control could get really dicey really quick for Farmingdale, who are no slouches. I mean, both these maps could not get any closer. We've got a combined 3 points between 2 maps that have been the difference in these so far. But it definitely feels like Davenport are getting a really solid read on what Farmingdale likes to do, and they're the ones making the adjustments when they matter the most, because we saw that in the last set of hills on Fortress, and we definitely saw it in the last 3 rounds of search and destroy here in El Silo.
I'll tell you what, that scoreboard doesn't look real. 13 of those 18 non-traded. Oh, I gotta rub my eyes a little bit here. That's man, I mean, that is just like an MVP performance right now. Like, this guy is just in takeover mode. He's not losing battles. He's making all the right decisions, and it's gotta feel so amazing when you're just on top of the world like that. You know, everything you're doing is the right play. Rax is a problem right now, man. You have to shut this guy down if you're bringing this one back here on the other side. It's just, there's no other question.
Definitely not. It's, man, it feels weird to be 2-0 up right now, especially in the dramatic fashion that it has. We've had 2 tremendously close maps. Coming up next, we've got the Control. You do not want to miss it. Farmingdale looking to bounce back, hopefully put together a reverse sweep. This is a LAN qualifier. You're either in or you're out. There's no other ways about it. So we'll step away for a quick break. When we come back, map number 3 on our screens. Don't go far. Welcome back. We have a combined 3 points that have determined the outcome of our first 2 maps. 250-248, 6-5, the hard point and the surge. Could not get any tighter. That's a lie. It could get 1 point tighter, but just go with me, all right? Let's get dramatic with it. It's LAN qualifiers. We're turning up the heat just a touch as we head over to the hotel Control. Ooh, Davenport looking to put together another clean sweep, but Farmingdale looked solid at the Fortress, obviously looked good in the search and destroy. Just comes down to stopping these Davenport comebacks.
That's it, right? Like, they haven't played bad. They've actually been playing very good Call of Duty here so far. It's just been that X factor of closing out the game. That's been the big problem here for them so far. And I know another problem that we brought up was the fact that Thrax has been going off. He drops 18 in that last S&D. You have to find ways of slowing down some of these playmakers on the other side here for the Panthers to have a real shot here, because you're good in the respawns. This is where you're your best. I feel like when you're watching over this team, it's just a matter of putting it together and not letting the game get away from you.
Has to find some level of just keep the gas down, I think, is the biggest thing.
Sure.
I mean, Farmingdale in the opening Fortress, whoo, they were off quick. Moments where things got a little out of hand. There's a moment in particular that I think the words I used was, this is not patient enough for Farmingdale. They're running into like 1v2s, 1v3s. You cannot make those mistakes at this point in the season. The last chance to make it in to LAN and try to win yourself some money and, of course, prestige. I don't know why I said it like that, of being a College COD champion. Which, to be fair, I mean, again, Farmingdale only lost to Fisher in the regular season. They dropped 2 different series in the postseason during their playoff run, but they have been one of the best teams on the year so far, whereas Davenport is like just coming into form. So, you know, find some confidence. Harken back to your boys and say, listen, we're good at this game. Let's not let these guys come back into this. Let's just keep, you know, the pedal to the metal. See what happens. Hotel Control. Davenport looking for the 3-0. Farmingdale State, one of what we need to be 3 in a row for the reverse sweep. And again, this is all for LAN. Let's get it on.
Damn, I'm not losing a gunfight after that speech, Alan. That's what they needed to hear. That's
Rudy,
what they needed to hear right there.
Rudy.
I like it. Let's see what happens here, man. A huge one just to get off the ground early and have a good start, you feel like would be great for the Rams in the round number 1. And that's a good opening engagement. First blood will be secured. Gecko's going to drop down. Frax looking for some trades here. But they will get an early touch and stop that clock as Sheldon finds 2.
That's huge from Sheldon as well. I mean, FSC were just not in position to be on A for a defense, but in the effort, Davenport was kind of heavy-handed towards the actual hit through Rug. So those 2 from Sheldon cutting off mid-map has almost guaranteed this round. And oh boy, Thrax, he is feeling it. Oh boy, if he had one more bullet, he may not have needed Sheldon to finish off that kill for him. But you're right, here we go indeed. Pubstar up top. Let's get out of there. Oh,
he checked. Just see what he can get away with, you know? Just seeing if he could really put them down early. Just shake him up a little bit. I like where his head's at because the zone is secured, and that's exactly the goal that you wanted to come for here at that point. So 2 minutes to work with now on the clock. You got some positioning slowly in and around this kind of top bedroom area, but Tez is the key player. You're going to have to work out. He's the playmaker, and he pops steady.
Looking for some space to work with at the moment. RFSC. Tez in bedroom denied. Now the defense just has to kind of bunker up. And oh, I mean, again, why? Why right then? You've got the control zone in front of you. Let them step onto it first, because now Gecko is getting away with absolute murder in the back line all the way through Spa. Pubstar just left to kind of watch this progress start to come in. Tez through mid-map kind of alleviates some of the pressure on point for the moment, but Gecko really wants the gunfights. Moves in, allows Exib to secure the first tick of progress, but now he's got to fight for his life. And finally, the Rams get their defense going.
Yeah, they get the defense going, but at least you get a tick here. So good news for the Panthers. Another good push onto the point and might be able to start to work for a stack and surprise them if you can get the clearance. But it's going to be a slow push all the way around the back. Exib good on that first kill, trying to enter in. It's a bit of a bunker up here. Like all 3 players not really controlling a lot of the map right now. They're all just playing off of each other. One double could break this open, and Thrax is here.
It may just come from Thrax. He's got a good read on the players in the back line. Gecko takes care of Carbonize from on top of the zone, but a trophy system allows an easier gunfight for Spades, and maybe a chance for Farmingdale to get back in, recontest. The AR's lighting things up, though. Double stack now on the point, and Sheldon goes big for 3. Second tick in, third on the way. Carbonize denied from the front. Team kill may not matter, and no, it will not. It will be enough for Thrax Gecko to lock things up, and Davenport take the opening offense.
That is not the FSC that we saw during the regular season whatsoever. They look shaken up a little bit right now in this round number 1. I know it's offense, and, you know, we typically see offensive rounds come through on Hotel, but I feel like it's very uncharacteristic to see, like, all 3 players grouped up just, like, a foot away from each other, all watching the same thing, essentially, while Thrax is, you know, unfolding through that flank. No one's trying to get inside of bedroom. No one's trying to get through, like, mid-map. It's very one-dimensional, I would say, right now, and it's a little bit scary, especially if this offense doesn't have a good start.
Yeah, a little anxiety, maybe a little lack of confidence.
Yeah.
You know, just not feeling they can get away with these little solo plays. I mean, especially when Thrax is just doing what he's doing right now. But at a certain point, you have to trust what we know is successful when it comes down to defenses on Hotel control. Opening first blood good. Tez doesn't wait for the regen. Spades should have been the one to go off first, you'd think, or at least go with them. But now the trades come out in favor of Davenport. First 30 seconds already gone, and FSC are having a hard time putting together anything at the moment as Tez and the rest of FSC kind of look over towards A for a moment and say, maybe we need to go A, but it's not a full commitment.
This is what I was talking about. This offense looks to get off the ground early. It could get scary, but that's a good moment there. Carbonize able to find 2. Zib trying to just get a read on what zone they're actually hitting, and well, the answer is they're actually attacking both zones. Carbonize going to be left all alone on A. Should be a kill for Exib, and it is, so he's able to clear off 1 point, but on the other side, that first tick is locked.
Second on the way. Gecko mid-map takes care of Pubstar, leaving Spades by himself, and he can do nothing besides just figure out what material those chairs are made out of. Had his face in the cushions. Farmingdale off spawn, though. Couple of kills allow them to get right back on towards the zone. Gecko wants to challenge the contestant on the zone itself, and does not win the gunfight. So second tick of progress is locked. Third player gets on for the stack, but Exib off the flank just needs to find the last player in the zone. Runs out of bullets. Is that enough for the capture to come through? Oh, it's just narrowly, not quite there. And Davenport's defense clears, has a chance to start to make a move forward, and FSC are resulting to having to play for A. 35 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, as long as you can get A pretty cleanly here, you should have a pretty good shot at securing that last tick on B. Going to be a good defensive setup to make sure that they do fully clear off the members around that B point, but you feel like A likely will go over. Zib just kind of waiting patiently. They do have a few members. Looks like they're just playing for exits. They're going to give this extra tick over.
I'm surprised they don't actually
Maybe not.
challenge with these two right here, just because if you get these kills, you obviously have win condition built, but if you drop, you should spawn back behind B. And yeah, they were going to go for it with 3 members up. Spade's the last one remaining. This will be a 1v3 for the zone. Help is on the way from behind. Gecko trying to keep his life a little while longer. Nice double for him, 4 in a row. Tez the next challenger, and no. He can only toggle and dance for so long, but the kills turn into a very favorable tally. 17-12, the lives remaining in favor of Davenport, but FSC only need 1 break.
They cut away some of the lives here too, down to about 11 for FSC, so I have to be a little bit careful just throwing them away for free. Carbonize, though, going to slowly work through the back, wants to try to get to that back spawn, see if they can start to flip out some of the defensive members here. And you can feel the pressure, little split coming through in the back here. Carbonize not going to land the nade, but he is now blocking. Any kill is a good kill to spawn them out.
Exactly, and the thing about these 2 defenders inside a bedroom is they cannot play too far off the zone because someone's going to have to get here and make sure that that 3rd tick doesn't come through quickly, which at the moment, it definitely is. Spades, Tez, on for the stack. Drax from behind, deals with 1. Long-range shots, gets the 2nd just before the 3rd tick is in. Oh, and the final trade comes out. Gecko trying to get in to deplete the progress. Still 50 seconds on the clock. Davenport scrambling to get a defense together, and they still have yet to fully deplete this progress. Exib controlling backside luggage, and Farmingdale have to take a beat before they can hit again.
Oh, gonna have to try to break through this defensive setup once again. They have control of top and bottom bedroom, but Exib could play spoiler, and they know it. That's why they're checking their flanks. They're going through long haul. They're trying to spot where this man is. Drax finds that first one. We're down to about 20 seconds. Exib is there. He pounces, and he'll find another.
Oh, this is heartbreak for the Rams. Absolute heartbreak. The thing about it is that tick has not been depleted yet. If you could just get 1 more kill and get 3 members on, you still may have a chance. Spades, just completely bamboozled by Thrax. Tez is going to have to dive forward. Players all around him. Shots aren't going to land, and Davenport barely 4 or 5 different times hold on to that last tick of progress at B, and now they're 2-0 up in the control.
There's just something too icy about this squad today, man. I don't know what it is. That was 2 moments where subs came from top bedroom to find a ridiculous 2-piece to get them off the zone with a sliver left for the capture, man. I mean, like what does FFC got to do? It just feels like they can't catch a break. They just can't find the trades when they really need them. And while Davenport have a chance to end it right here, right now in this round number 3.
It's just, ugh. How many times are they going to be heartbroken like this? Carbonize, first blood. Possibility for more, actually. Yeah, Gecko kind of just wanders into his lane. So that'll be good for Farmingdale to get their defense going early. And they're also stacking for a contest here at A. They are going to need to put together a heroic defensive effort here if they were to find a way to obviously win round 4 and then be on the favored side for round 5. Carbonize still not done. Jumps into the action. Gecko denies, and Sheldon clears off Rugs. That should be good for the first, if not all, of this A zone.
Just feels still a little bit split. Not on the same page when they're kind of all hitting in for that, trying to break it open. No kills even come through. Now, not only are you going to have an extra minute to work with, but the lives also were in your favor. Spade's going to even it up here. 25 apiece. B will now be set up here defensively. But once again, Davenport, 2 minutes to work to that second zone.
Yeah, so much time in front of them. Spades, I like the aggression. Take away some space through mid-map. Force Davenport to have to play through bedroom. Or around the flank. And patience from Davenport as they're trying to search for kills. I mean, a lot of kind of, I would say, onus onto Exib to make a play around the back. But now all of a sudden, that's about 30 seconds off the clock already. And Davenport have not made really any ground at all towards B at the moment.
Yeah, they get a touch here. It's just going to be Gecko. Maybe just trying to bait out some of the positions here for bottom bedroom. But Tez has played his life terrifically. Rax will finally be there for the trade, but Spade's there to pick it up. And as long as you can just keep 1 member inside, that's what they were lacking last time around on their defensive round. But Sheldon, ready, waiting, finds the second kill. And now they've been able to clear up bedroom.
Gecko still controls mid-map. Tez down low, denied. Oh, goodness, he just lurks around the corner. Nice little follow-up, though, by Spades. Confirms the trade, plus extra on top of bedroom. Exib, the last one, largely standing here. He does have Thrax from behind. Pumpstar, Carbonize, trying to get to the point, and well, okay, there you go. An opportunity for Farmingdale to at least keep Davenport off the zone. The problem is they're trying to work along the long side of the map, which will lead to not just spot control, but FSC is going to continually spawn top right side of the map here.
Look where Thrax is. He's got to be telling everybody, just look at our backs. Look at the back. Look at bedroom. Look at mid. I have everything from behind, and 3 players going to drop spades. The last one up would have to play his life, and he will be able to at least escape, reset, and try to reposition. But Thrax is still a problem, and he is still blocking spawns.
And Gecko's still on the zone. He nearly single-handedly confirms the second tick of progress at B. Tagged up, backs off, waits for the regen. Tez in front of him. Pubstar to join. Trophy system gets onto the zone. Gecko not going to give away his position yet to deny that trophy. Davenport taking their time. 26 seconds. Gecko sneaking up the staircase. No chance. Exib trying to work his way back on, but that trophy gets denied. At least I thought it did. May have actually landed. Sheldon, big kill through the middle of the map. This is the last chance for Davenport. Have to go. And all that's just so clean. Pubstar holding onto the backside of bar. 50 HP to his name. Exib pushing forward. Davenport onto the zone. Carbonize trying to clear. 4.9 seconds on the clock. It's just one member left alive. It's Exib. Long range shots from Tez. Will eventually land, but he gets traded out. Can anyone touch in time? No. Farmingdale see another round. But boy, did it come down to the wire.
Yeah, it's just like they don't get anything for free, right? They gotta work just to the absolute limit to secure anything that they can call a victory. And they do get there, but it is chance after chance. A good moment from Carbonize, though. He flies out for that double. If he doesn't put together 2, the numbers are potentially still there for Davenport to get onto the zone and maybe play for a stack to secure that final tick. But it does not happen. However, have to see something more convincing here on the attack. Last time it took them way too long to try to capture that A point.
It's just tough because they were also so close to winning their first offense. So you really got to nitpick at this level. First couple of kills traded evenly. Carbonize onto the zone. Exib challenging, denied. And there we go. Farmingdale State already finding good success here today early.
That's a great moment. Carbonize, I think, might be one of the leading members here to try to get them over that finish line, maybe over that map win. But still feeling a bit of a threat here from the Panthers, trying to make a way into the point. Just a little bit of annoying. Gecko throwing some stuns and nades in, battling out over the top here as the snakes come on through, and Pupstar will add in the assistance to make sure they do get the extra minute. So this is what I was talking about. 2 minutes and 15 seconds now. Much more time to work with to try to work to the second point.
Spade's getting away from Thrax, but decides to take the gunfight. Didn't really have much of an exit, and 3 kills come out consecutively for Davenport. Pubstar also red. There's the team wipe. And look how deep Exib is. Are you kidding me? This guy just takes over the map, doesn't he? Little,
sure does.
adventurer explorer over here.
Well, I'll tell you who's not exploring a lot. FSC. They have not really been able to move outside of kitchen since capturing that zone. They've been very much pinned back here, but finally some clean gunfights will allow them to start to flood through mid. Maybe work themselves into the back here. See if they can block that close spot. You can see Spades trying to be the member to do it. Tez also finds one inside a bedroom here. This is looking good here so far for the Rams.
Yeah. Plus front desk control onto the zone. Minute 20 is where the clock will stop. Tez hunting for Exib, who has been so darn elusive. Even gets the read on the playthrough ladder, but he does get shut down. Davenport still holding on. Not a lot of progress gained on towards B. Davenport looking for more position forward, but not going to be allowed. FSC make their move. Nice shots out of Spades. Takes care of Exib. Now back onto the zone come the Rams. Here's how it happens. Double stack now potentially in play. Maybe even more than that if they can take down Gecko, but he holds his ground. Thrax diving over. Wants to try to assist this defense as best as humanly possible, but Pubstar denies the opportunity. Second tick of progress coming near. Gecko from up top, still good. Exib on the cross, able to get back over, and no. Actually, no, pardon me. The second tick does get locked just barely, so Farmingdale will have a chance to reset, stabilize, and maybe get Tez his 7th kill, which Exib will actually give away. So now, cruise missile in play. This is how FSC can make a play on.
Yeah, you would love to save it for around 5, but you very well might need to use it here to try to search for information at some point in time if kills aren't clean here for FSC. Nades now over the top, but fighting back right now is the Panthers. They're coming out with a lot of these trades, but there is a touchdown on the zone. Tez trying to watch over the top. Needs to find Gecko and out of the support,
Nice.
and they find the kill. That should now be in. Flies out to mid. Trying to now find Sheldon, and Sheldon drops. Can they get the tick? They will, and we will see a round 5.
Tez for 10 to finish the round. And how big were all of those final 4 eliminations? Because if he even denies, I mean, I don't think Exhibit even gets a kill right there. And then to stop Sheldon, who's fully healthy, looking at 2 weak opponents on the zone, could have possibly gotten the defense a chance again. But Tez drops a double-digit streak, goes into round 5. Ticks of progress will still mean that Davenport are on the defensive side, I believe. Yeah, they are. So you have to win another consecutive offense. But the thing about it is, Farmingdale better off the break to get to A, and now they've got an extra resource in the cruise missile earned to possibly get some success towards B.
This is doable. It would be a heartbreaker of all heartbreakers to get this far in the map number 3 and to lose it here. Surely this is where we see the ice come through, but it's not a great opening. Met with some early challenges from Davenport, putting on the pressure, stunning and nading out early, just trying to get full control of the restaurant.
Yeah. Patience, though, from the Rams. I like it. Exib, gunfight win from up top of our catwalk. Can now pull a flank. And, oh, boy. Gecko never revealed himself in this corner, and now he's going to have a little bit of help. Gecko just needs to keep his life. There's Exib around the back, and Thrax from the front. Oh, boy. Davenport has read that beautifully. Exib traded out, but ultimately Davenport get what they came for. They will hold, not just successfully, they are holding convincingly as Thrax starts to heat things up at the 32nd kill.
Yeah, they have Sheldon over at B, so we should be able to play a little bit of defense, and you can even see the support there from Exib as well. Just trying to add in just the pressure needed to hold on, and he does it again. Exib finds 3, shuts it down. Tez even invests the streak here just to try to get them out onto the map. A is their only option.
Yep, that's so painful. You just don't expect that Exib's going to get all 3. You think that streak may give you a chance to get a stack early on towards B. So 26 plays 17. Farmingdale with the 3-man stack on A, looking good for it. But Thrax, a little heat check possibly out of him. Checks his corner, clears. Oh my goodness, he's pirouetting into the site. Nearly has a chance for more, but Exib follows up. He's going to challenge and contest. Gets his 5th straight kill. Pubstar at range, not on the zone. Second tick of progress, also not locked. Tez will eventually secure it, and the rest of the squad will follow up to get the extra 60 seconds, but it's dire straits here, Austin. No cruise missile, and a 23 playing 14 with a minute 12 on the clock.
Yeah, that was just a great play to the sub-duo. They take away so many lives. They delay that time for so long, and you're going to have to just start moving across the map and winning some key gunfights from here on out, man. FSC do not have a lot of time to get 3 ticks of progress on B. Needs to be convincing, needs to be clean, and it needs to be now.
They just have to clear so much, and with the time on the clock, they kind of have to play this 2-2 split fully. Clear out bedroom, clear out mid, see if you can get someone into front desk. Maybe that's your kind of success pivot point, but no, Exib, a double for him again, now on 28. I mean, you're about to have 3 members of Davenport over 30 kills. 22 plays 9. Exib is just letting them have it. And this might be it for Farmingdale State. Last chance. Exib cutting players off a spawn. Not looking good. Have to find a way to break through this bedroom setup, and the kills are just not there. They're not there in any form. Davenport seconds away from punching a ticket to LAN for the 2nd straight year, and Farmingdale can't get out of spawn, which of course means that they're not going to get to the zone in time. It's a hell of a season for the Rams, but Davenport, pack your bags. Tickets on the way. We'll see you on LAN.
Oh, man. What a way to do it. A 3-0 all maps. I mean, as close as you would ever want them to be. But the ice, that X factor, when it comes down to needing to go big, they delivered play after play. And, well, can't blame FSC. Got to be a lot of frustration there after the season that they had.
Yeah.
After everything that was going for them, to be taken down like that, man, it's just got to sting.
Heartbreaker. I mean, all 3 maps had a combined differential points of 4. 2 points in the hard point, 6-5 the search, 3-2 the control. Oh, boy. Doesn't get much more painful than that. But ultimately, I think you look at this Farmingdale State team, it's going to sting for a while, but you have to look back on the season and think of how successful it was. You're in a tough division. You're playing up against Fisher. You do well for the most part against them. That's the only series you drop in your regular season. You go through the postseason, and again, it wasn't exactly what I would call an easy bracket in any form.
Sure.
But it was a surprising bracket because you had to play through teams that you just did not expect. I mean, the Buckeyes not quite getting through Baldwin and Wallace. Penn State didn't get through Wowen. So, like, you had a pretty clear-cut track to get to the finals. In the lower bracket, you took down Rutgers. You took down, another team that looked really solid in groups. But ultimately, this Davenport team has come to play in this postseason after what was largely a very questionable regular season for them.
Yeah, this team, very fun to watch. And Thrax also, I mean, just had probably one of the best series of his life. It felt like, based off of what we were getting. I think it was 18 kills in that search and destroy. 30 kills roughly around the map number 1. And he just about gets there here in the map number 3 here too. So huge player. MVP performance without a doubt. Putting up the big numbers and just making sure they get there. He was just refusing to lose on the day, man. He was not losing a map.
Not at all, man. Again, Thrax, massive. Exhib, massive in those comeback efforts. But Gecko and Sheldon really did pop off as well when they were trying to lock things down. I mean, how many times did we see any of these 4 players go on huge little 3-pieces that you just would not have expected? And, I think the biggest thing about it, too, for Davenport is they didn't make very many mistakes, and they 100% punished Farmingdale State for the mistakes they were making. Some isolated individual challenges that probably didn't need to happen. They're not waiting for full regen, stuff like that. I mean, Davenport found those kills quickly and then took away so much space on all 3 of these maps because of it. So,
yeah,
Davenport really starting to click here. And that's going to be a huge confidence booster to come back in 2 straight maps and then hold on to the second round offense that Farmingdale State almost had the B zone like 5 different times. I mean, come on.
Just insane stuff, and just so much like trust too. You can even see like just that play that we just saw there. Thrax hitting for the front right here, and like look at the play that's unfolding through the back. He's just buying time for Exhib to find little 2-pieces like this. It's that teamwork that you only get through chemistry and playing together, and just being able to always be on the same page in some of those really tight, chaotic moments. That was really kind of the gist of what we saw over and over and over again, setting up each other, and well, a lot of the time really setting up Thrax, it felt like, but always delivering, always coming up big, and once again, punching their ticket to LAN, man. It's got to feel amazing for those guys. Big congrats.
Man, you'll see it again. Why was I keep thinking it was 248 to 250? I'm throwing 245 to 250. Still, tremendously close series, regardless of my inaccuracies there. Wow. That's an unbelievable 3-0.
That is, dude.
Just flat out. Okay. But that's 1 of 4 LAN qualifier matches. The Panthers will join some of our other squads as a repeat appearance on LAN for a chance at the College COD 2023 championship. We've got more on the way, so do not go far. We've got so much LAN qualification CCL action to finish off the day, and our second match will be coming back to us right after this break. Don't go anywhere.